to shrink a little bit. I don't know, or I can do this.
I used to get bike caps.
I can't hear you. There we go.
Alive.
Okay. So anyway.
I was just saying I used to get a bike cap, and I had a yellow one. I wore it all the time.
I wanted to get the yellow one, and Leslie was like, it was the yellow World Champions. It had the rainbow down the middle and then yellow everywhere else. She's like, I don't like that one. I was like, but it's the World Champion. So I'll wear this one tonight. Break it in.
Well, I used to wear it all the time with a bill flipped up.
Yeah. It
Okay,
has a longer bill than my other one. I'm not used to it.
I have to log in with the other account on Twitch. Oh my goodness, dude, I'm so tired.
I bet, dude. I bet.
Well, it hasn't helped that I've been staying up late. With her out of town, it's like, you know what? I'll stay up and play even more.
Yeah.
Wait a second. What? The new beta version of Twitch won't let you pop out chat.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's no good.
What's up with that? I'm going to go back to regular feedback. You can't pop out the chat window. What gives?
Yeah, right?
There you go, feedback. Now, give me back my old window. That's feedback. How do I switch back? Okay, there we go. Back into regular. Somebody's there. Welcome. I'm not in chat yet. Working on it. Don't you dare even.
Oh, and I got my ringer on my phone because my wife might need me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hear my phone go off and I just suddenly disappear, you know I'm going to save her life because she can't reach her water, or she wants crackers, or the cat's on the bed and it shouldn't be, or the light needs to be turned off, or if you hear all of the above.
Okay, no worries.
So, yeah. Just keep it rolling. I'll be back momentarily.
Add filler, or
that's right.
Just pause the program.
Just pretend I'm still there.
Okay. Well, there's nobody in there yet. So you ready?
All right. Well, I'm ready. Let's do a show. Might have to make it quick, so we both can get some sleep, or attempt, I guess.
You're listening to Legend of the Innkeeper, the Hearthstone podcast for casual players.
Ah, you're new here. Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Bastidius.
And I am Espo.
And it has been a crazy week, and it has nothing to do with Hearthstone. Life has been full lemonade. Yeah, lots of lemonade.
There we go.
Wow, what a busy week it's been. So we're here. We made it in spite of everything that's been thrown at us, including your internet.
Yeah, right. Just today.
So you've all known that we've been trying to get Espo updated tin cans at his place because the internet string is starting to wear thin, and yeah, it didn't help. They came out today and told him basically the same thing. Dude, you can't get updated internet. So, but there's hope on the future that they're actually going to come out and do something about it. So we'll see. But until then, now it's even worse. You tell me. So
Yeah.
if his
Yeah,
audio is a
they
little broken
actually
like this, then you know what's happening.
they shut it off this morning, and we looked uh, at our little thing because we obviously use our phones for the internet instead of the internet, and which is crazy. But anyway, my wife looks at our ticket through CenturyLink, and it says that the technician's working on it, and that's why our internet's down. And we may see, intermittent activity all day long until he gets to the physical address. So I was like, oh, cool. He's up at the end of the road working on the box, upgrading the switch or doing whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. And then comes time for him to be here. He's not here. Leslie calls and he says, yeah, we aren't able to upgrade your internet. You should have gotten a call about 3 hours ago. No, we didn't get a call. We just been dealing with no internet all day. Oh yeah, they should have turned that on too. They should have, she's like, no, they actually turned off our internet because we were getting a new package that included the upgraded internet. So they had to turn our internet back on at the speed we were at before. But unfortunately, when they turned it back on, it went from 6 to 2. So now I'm running at like 2.3 up or 2.3 down and like 0.1 up or something silly. So it might have sped up a little bit because I feel like I'm not sounding like a robot too much. But anyway, it's been insane. It's been a crazy day. And not only that, yesterday, my wife and I did the transfer of embryos. So she's on bed rest. So, dude, I mean,
The clock is ticking.
How you? Well, the thing is, like, years ago, when we had to stay inside because of blizzards or because of whatnot, we never had a problem. But now it's like without internet. Years ago without internet, we were fine.
That's
We
right.
found stuff to do. Now it's like we don't have internet and we have to stay inside. What do we do?
Oh, no.
So it was a day. It was a day, but we survived. I spent half the day on the phone though with CenturyLink.
True. Yes.
Trying to figure out what was going on. So we are back online, albeit very slow. So we're doing what we can. I've been playing a little bit of Hearthstone mobily in between giving my wife shots and medications and food and everything else. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I did make it to rank 14 though.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Wow.
I find that when I play on my phone, I play a lot better, I guess. I don't know. So, but in the hospital, it is tough to be interrupted, in a hospital waiting room when you're kind of just sitting there for hours. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I totally can see that.
14 with Priest, having fun.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I did play a little bit, just try to brawl just now because I've been running like crazy all day today, so I hadn't had a chance to even dig into it. And didn't yet. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. My wife's mother had an issue, and she had to fly out and help her and take care of that. And so I've been mom and dad all week, taking care of my daughter, helping her get where she needs to go because she's got a wedding she's preparing for this week that she's doing the flowers for. And plus I'm working, and then the van broke, and it's been a week. I'm ready for it to be over with. We're all ready for it to be over with because it's a lot of work. And she thought she had help helping build the flowers, and then the person who was going to help her didn't show up today. So yeah, she's been a little stressed. So
stress all over.
Anyways, but we're getting through it. We're making it work. We're managing, and it'll all be good next week. Everything will be back to normal. But I did play a little bit. Mostly been playing with Paladin. Um, Still, I've been having a great time with this Paladin deck that I'm playing with, and still enjoying it. Although I'm gonna probably try out some different decks this week because of some of the shifts that have happened with the recent uh, nerf and changes that came out. So I'm gonna tinker with some of those, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment. So
Yeah.
okay, so the biggest news of this week, if you haven't heard already, is Blizzard has released a new mobile app. That's for your device. You can get both on iOS and Android, either or. And it's basically the current PC app that you use, where you can chat with your friends, talk with them. Um, it also allows you to save the previous messages, and you can find this all on your phone.
Well, you know that the PC app has recently been updated because if you remember, it says you cannot receive messages while offline, or like when you try to type back to a person, that they gave you the message saying this person will not receive this because they're offline. So they changed that to where it now saves messages so that you can receive them when you log in again, which I love because I always felt bad. I was like, oh man, someone sent me a message. Because usually I'll leave the Blizzard app open on my PC and I'll get messages when I'm AFK, away from my keyboard. And I'll come back and I'll be like, oh man, I shouldn't have left the app open because they thought I was there, and then of course they're offline. But now I don't have to worry. I can message them back even when they're offline. And it's the same thing with the Blizzard app now on the phone, which is awesome. I think this is super cool.
I really don't care. Plain and simple, honestly. I mean, I have to say, it's one more app for me to have to communicate somewhere else with somebody else,
Yeah.
Honestly, right now, what I am using the most to communicate with all my friends pretty much is Discord. Discord has become my one-stop spot for everything. Because one, it's a, and guys, if you're in a community, you want to enjoy it, want to join us, you're welcome to do so. If you become a patron with our through Patreon at patreon.com/Legend of the Innkeeper, once you're subscribed to that and become a supporter of the show, you get access to immediately. It adds you in there, and you're in a group, and you start using it. And we communicate mostly about PUBG and other games too, but we communicate about a whole bunch of stuff. And it's replaced Facebook for me. I hardly ever bring up Facebook at all. It's replaced a lot of the websites I go to tied to other communities. There's a couple other podcasts I listen to that they have a Discord community, and if you have the desktop app on your computer, you can pull up your desktop app and you see all those communities and constantly get updates from them. And it's just awesome way to communicate. Plus, they do have an app for your phone. You can send messages privately to each other. That's my one-stop communications tool right now. But, I think this is just, I think it's a year or 2 years too late for this.
Could be.
I think a year ago we would have used this a lot more to communicate because we were starting to use it more then, especially when they added the voice chat options. So I just think they're a little late to the game, and I think it's just not going to take off because, again, Facebook, they took Messenger and broke it out of the apps. Now Messenger is a separate app on your phones. You've got people using WeChat, people using Snapchat, people using Instant Messenger, the iMessage for Android, Apple devices, texting, SMS. I mean, you got all these things now doing the same thing the same tool does. I mean, what other features does it give you on your device that you don't get from all these other ones, other than the fact it ties you into the community that you're already using?
Yeah.
The Blizzard, the WoW app that they had before had a chat feature available on it that you could talk with your guild in World of Warcraft.
Guild chat, yeah. I actually used that quite a bit.
I did too back in the day, but most people have quit playing World of Warcraft or not playing currently or moved on temporarily, whatever, and they stop using it. So that becomes less useful as that changes in life and what they're doing with the game. So it's good they broke this out into its own app. But again, Not sure it's gonna be something that I'm gonna use. In fact, I have not purposely have not installed it yet. I probably should install it, play with it, just because of what we do here and all, but I'm not inclined to. I'm like, just another thing on my phone to communicate with. So I'll hold my breath and see how receptive it gets along with everybody else. But so far, I'm not seeing a whole lot of people doing it. Did you install it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I I'm pretty excited about it because I communicate quite a bit with a lot of my friends on the Battle.net app through the Battle.net app, and because I do I
Really?
do I do a lot of friend versus friend battles in
Right.
Hearthstone. Like that's probably 50% of my games are with friends. And that's a good way for people to be like, "Hey, I got next." So it's kind of nice because I can, go through the list and see, "Oh, someone messaged me." And that's a nice way for me to, keep track of who I'm playing next and, who wants to battle.
So actually, what they need to do for you is have a virtual quarter that gets put on the glass, right?
There we go. Yeah.
So you have a little quarter
Yeah,
down your bottom corner of your screen.
that would
Somebody's
that
ready.
would be really cool. Maybe even have on the quarter a little picture of what deck they're gonna play, like what class. That way
Or
I'll
their
remember.
player icon, so you know who it is.
Yeah, well, I mean their names there, so because I always like to know what class they're gonna be playing because that'll
Uh,
help me remember. Oh, this person wanted to try out a warlock deck, or this person wanted to try out the, Highlander priest, or this person wanted to, try mech rogue with me,
or
or
this guy's
all
gonna
these.
troll me with Hunter.
Yeah, like, dude, I did play quite a bit of Hunter too. I've been playing Priest and Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter's making a comeback, and I love it.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Well, the other big thing to talk about is October Brawl. We've talked about this already the last 2 weeks. That's the
Yeah,
event that's tied to the back card backs, and I'm proudly here to say that Team Void is winning. I,
dude,
I
this is insane. So, for those of you that haven't heard, you link your Twitch account to, is it Twitch? Yeah, you or
Yep.
no? Is
Yes,
that what
Twitch
it
Prime.
is?
Yeah, it's Twitch Prime.
You link Twitch Prime to your account, and then you go ahead and get these two card backs. You get Void and Light, and they represent two teams. Well, uh, you favorite one of those card backs, and you play ranked. And then depending on how many wins you get, that's how many votes, the whatever card back you're playing. So every time you win, they get another point, so to speak. And Team Void has been like doubling the amount of packs that Teams Light's been getting. I think last week was Year of the Kraken, so they got packs from the Year of the Kraken. This week is Year of the Mammoth, so they'll get packs from the Year of the Mammoth. And it's just been insane. And because they started out with just blank accounts, with just I think just the basic cards.
Yeah.
And then they got, commons, rares, epics, and legendaries from their packs that they were given, and they just build from there. Just, whew, I feel bad. I mean, I think Ali Straza's, she's got two piloted shredders, which she's pretty happy with. Meanwhile, everybody else has like cool legendaries and everything. So it's pretty sad when your best card is piloted shredder, right?
Yeah.
It's a great card, but it's just sad, that they. But I mean, that's the way it goes. When it's a popularity contest, Renad and Crip and
Reina.
Ali are not gonna beat the dog and Tice.
Well,
And
the way it works for
Jackie
you
Chan.
as a player is when you equip one of these card backs as your favorite card back and you play games, every time you play a game, that adds points towards them getting additional packs. So
Oh,
the more
I
you
thought it
play,
was when you won.
I think it's just playing.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I thought it was
It's not,
when you won.
I
If you
don't think
win, you.
it's.
I don't know. Either way, there somebody somebody's doing a lot for Team Void, or a lot of people are doing a lot for Team Void, and it's been pretty crazy. Unfortunately, there's you have to get on Twitch and you have to have Amazon Prime to really do anything for them. But pretty cool. It's interesting hearing about what they're doing with these cards, and the new player experience.
Okay, it is a win. I apologize.
Okay.
Every time you
That's
win a
all
game
right.
in standard rank,
Apology
wild
accepted.
rank, or arena,
There we
then
go.
you strike a blow for your team, helping them to get you against open more cards.
Yeah, this in no way mirrors the new player experience though, because new players don't get this many packs. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. It's been kind of a slow week for the news. We just had the nerf of some cards a few weeks ago, and the meta got kind of shaken up, but no new news though, right?
Well, the only other thing I want to mention is I don't know if we actually talked about this, but BlizzCon virtual tickets are available.
Yeah, we
we
did. We
mention?
talked
Okay.
about the goodie bag. We talked about
Well, we
all
talked
that
about it,
stuff.
but you can get them now if you didn't already. So
Yeah.
if you want to get your virtual ticket, go get it because it's available. It's $40, I think it is.
Yeah,
And
I need to get mine.
they did make some changes that I know we didn't talk about. And they said this year what they're doing is they're adding events. And there's a new video that just got posted. I believe it was today that are developer conversations, Q&As and such are happening that are part of that virtual ticket. So if you have your virtual ticket, you can start watching this content today. There's all kinds of content out there now. So grab your virtual ticket, go check it out, and then click the watch button and go check out the videos. Because so far there's a year in review for World of Warcraft, developer Q&A, experiencing BlizzCon, World of Warcraft game items, a little snippet, and Mike Moreheim's talking about the virtual ticket. So that's just some of the videos, and they got more stuff out there. There's Artist Journey with one of the artists from World of Warcraft, and a conversation with there's just tons of stuff, cosplay stuff out there, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. So you may want to go check it out and see what's going on.
Awesome. So,
Okay.
were you surprised at this week's Tavern Brawl?
I was surprised a little bit because of the fact that it's like, are you kind of kidding me? It's Crossroads again.
I actually laughed to myself. I was like, is this some kind of joke? This is the seventh time we've seen this one. So Randomonium we've seen like 6 times. This is the 7th. Wow. Of course, every time it changes a little bit because they add new cards, but it's crazy. I want to say right after Knights of the Frozen Throne came out, we saw Encounter at the Crossbones, which they had each of the classes decks with the Death Knight in it. So you played basically the Death Knight version of the deck for that class. So I understood that one. This one is just Encounter at the Crossroads. Just has Knights of the Frozen Throne cards mixed in a little bit. But you still get 15 neutrals, 15 class cards. Go at it. Pick your class. Great for new players because they get to play with cards that they don't own in their collection. But it's still extremely random and pretty crazy. I jumped in, won my game, and was like, oh, I'm probably not going to play that again. I'm going for my Golden Priest, so I want to dedicate a lot of time if I'm playing Hearthstone to Priest. And 2, I don't find it fun. Now, of course, on my other accounts, I've been pretty dedicated to doing quests every day on my other 2 accounts, trying to get as much gold and packs and dust as I can. So on my other 2 accounts, it was pretty fun because I was able to play with cards, that weren't in my collection. So as a new player, it's even more fun because you're seeing these cards that you've never seen before, or getting to play with these cards that you've never played with before.
Sure.
So, but do you have any? I heard you talking about some stats. Do you have stats on this brawl?
Yeah. Well, it's not this brawl particularly, but in general, so far with brawls, since we've started doing Tavern Brawls, there have been 119 different ones. Out of those, we've seen 67 repeats. And when I say 119 different ones, 119 weeks of brawls. So 67 of them have been repeats. So 56% of brawls have been repeated. It would be nice to see some new ones come in here every so often, but man, that's a lot of repeats.
Yeah.
And then just this year alone, we've seen 39 so far. 22 of those have been repeats, which is oddly the same percentage, 56%.
Interesting.
So I hope that's not their goal they're going for, is 56% of their brawls are going to be repeats. But, mix, and I'm not counting, we're not counting ones that change the rules a little bit as being different than a repeat,
Yeah.
For example, you're talking about Crossbones. It's essentially the same thing. It's just they tweaked it a little bit. So that still counts as a repeat in these numbers.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, I'm not really going to complain, though. I love the Tavern Brawl. I think it's great.
Oh, yeah.
I think if they are going to repeat them, hopefully they're the ones that are non-constructed so that new players get to, play with cards. That's a big thing for me. I may complain about it being, Crossroads again, but I'm not going to complain too much because I got to remember that there are new players out there that don't have a lot of cards, and this is fun for them because they get to play with cards that they've never played with. So,
well,
if you're a new player, get out there and play this brawl.
It could be worse. It could be a heroic Tavern Brawl.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Our weekly brawl? Yeah, you do.
Nope, never heard of
it. Yeah.
No idea.
But
so I was surprised. I thought they would have done something a little bit different to mix up, because we're kind of the meta did get shooken up with the nerfs, but we're kind of in a, we're off the spike of the new cards and kind of on the downhill side towards being not necessarily boring, but where we've basically figured out the Knights of the Frozen Throne cards and gotten a chance to see them all and play them all. And it's kind of that time between expansions when, a cool Tavern Brawl could come out and really make things kind of neat, So maybe they're going to do that next week. I don't know. But
if they're going to repeat them, let's have some repeats that are not the same one over and over again. Crossroads, the 7th time, really.
It's pretty crazy.
Get some things in here a little bit different. There are some of them out there that I really enjoyed that we haven't seen, but maybe once or twice. Let's get some of those back in rotation that we enjoy. So hopefully we'll see
some of my favorite ones are the ones that are based on the adventures. Mm-hmm. Those are some of my favorite ones where you get to play with cards that aren't in the game. Like crazy Nefarian and Ragnaros cards that don't exist in the game, and you only get to play. When you get to play with heroes that aren't even in the game, like you're Ragnaros, you're Nefarian, you're Kel'Thuzad, you're the Lich King. Like those are really neat Tavern Brawl stuff that you can't normally do, in the regular game. Go into the Tavern Brawl and get to be something else,
Well, Matron24 in the chat room said that he liked the brawls that were co-ops with your opponent.
Oh,
I like those too.
Yeah, where you had to take down, who was it, Mechatork, I think, or Mechgineer, maybe? I don't know. I think it might have been Mechatork, though. But he jumped from side to side. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
I just dropped the mic. But you got to fight. You had to only fight him because he had taunt or whatever, and it was, oh man, I agree, Matcher. Those are really cool. Those are
I enjoy those too. Well, speaking of changes and all that going live, we have seen quite a bit of a shift in the last week and a half or weeks or so with the changes that went live. One of those biggest changes is that the Druid decks have been pretty much falling out of popularity, I guess you would say. Yeah. I mean, you've got one druid that kind of has hung around. That's the J druid, but the token druid, the ramp druid, they're just like gone, which is kind of crazy because before the changes, those ramp druid type decks were being played about 40% of the time in legend rank. That's a huge number, and I can definitely see why Blizzard wants to make a change and curb that. They're getting like 7%, so it's definitely brought those down to a much more reasonable number. As a reasonable, because you want to have a lot of variety in those ranks. That is not everybody playing one deck. That is hard. The reason everybody's playing that one deck is because it's winning, and it's winning because it's more powerful than all the other decks. There's no counters to it, so you want to balance all that out. So it's a more even field for everybody to play against. So there's been this shift that has gone through, and people are starting to play other decks and explore options. And Espo, you've mentioned already two of the ones that are right up here at the top of those listings, and that's the Priest. Let me guess, Kazaka Priest.
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Highlander Priest.
It's essentially that. It's the.
I guess I just don't have Kazakus. I don't know how I don't.
I don't
have
either.
Kazakus.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't have him. I don't have him.
It's like I want Kazakus.
But, I haven't played against it a lot, but I've been playing it a lot. I've been playing my Resurrect Priest with Obsidian statues, and then I've been playing Hunter. So, but I've been seeing. I tell you what I've been seeing a lot of is Seth Prince. I don't know if you've heard of him. So Prince Keleseth is a legendary. He's 2 cost, and what he does is he gives all minions in your deck +1/+1. So I've been seeing a lot of Shadow Step Keleseth decks where play Keleseth, Shadow Step in, play him again for free, and all minions in your deck get +2/+2. You know, because you're doing it twice. Just insanity. Wow. I've had that done to me 3 times, dude. And I bet I've seen that deck maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 times. So I've seen a lot of rogue, a lot of minion-based rogue. I've seen a lot of Priest, where I've been playing a lot of the mirror match, which is Resurrect Priest, where they just barns out something on turn 4, whether it's a Lich King or a Obsidian statue or a Ysera, and then they just keep resurrecting it for the rest of the game. And then I've seen a lot of Hunter too. So, and it's funny, I've been playing in Wild a lot, and I've been seeing a lot of Resurrect, or not Resurrect Hunter. Well, I guess Death Rattle
Feign
Hunter
Death.
with N'Zoth, where
yeah.
their end game is N'Zothing back all those big guys, and it's just crazy. So, but seeing a lot of Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Hunter, Rogue, and Priest.
Yeah, the Highlander Priest, which has Kazakus and Raza in it, typically. It's your typical build. Token Shaman has been growing in power a little bit.
Yes, yeah, with the Evolved.
Right, exactly.
I've seen that quite a bit too, yeah.
And then, of course, Mid-Range Hunter, which you already mentioned. But with Prince Keleseth, we've also seen Tempo Rogus, the one you're talking about. Pirate Warrior's been utilizing that a little bit as well, and Zula has been throwing that in there. So, I mean, it's some crazy stuff you can do with that card, and it seems to be really helping boost its popularity. So, let's see. Currently, the most win rates for, let's see here, in the last 24 hours or 48 hours has been Rogue with a 50-something% win rate.
Yeah.
59.4.
That's pretty high. I've been seeing a lot of Rogue, and I've been going about 50% with it. I would say that the only deck I have a really tough time with is the mirror match with Priest. I think I'm not teching against it enough, so maybe I need to throw some mind controls in there. I don't know.
Right.
So, because it seems like every time I play an Obsidian statue, they can do something with it.
Well, pretty much the top you're seeing right now, the trend has been Hunter, Paladin, Priest, and Rogue with Shaman mixed in there as your more strong classes, and Warlock kind of rounding out the bottom. So
Yeah, and I've been playing a lot of Wild, like I said, so maybe that's why I'm not seeing the Pirate and the Paladin. I don't know. You'd
Mhm.
think you'd see more Paladin in Wild though, but I haven't. But then again, I'm only rank, I'm jumping between ranks 15, 14, 13, those three ranks. So I did make
Cool.
it over to 15 hump though, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, I had not been paying real big attention to my ranking and realized today that actually yesterday I realized I hadn't hit 20 yet. So
Oh, wow, dude.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of the things
So
I make sure I
I
do
fixed
every
that
month.
issue.
Yeah, I get on all my accounts and I make sure I make it to 20 and I try to complete all my quests and then I start working on, my golden priest again. So, yeah.
Easy.
So you know how you're always saying that you play, the PUBG and a few other games, and I'm always like, oh, I never play any other games. Never play any other games. Dude, I will
Right.
admit I played another game.
What?
So, one of my coworkers, he was like, hey, he said, have you seen the Skyrim CCG? And
Yes.
I was like, I think so. Legends? And he's like, yeah, man, yeah. And he's a Magic the Gathering player, and he's anti Magic the Gathering online, much like a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And he's tried Hearthstone and just couldn't get into it.
Which,
So
by the
he
way,
asked,
there's a new Magic coming, and rumor is that it's going to fix that big issue that everybody has with the Magic Online. But
oh wow, because Magic the Gathering online is so clunky. It's just
yep.
it's bad. So, so I actually played the Elder Scrolls Legends
Mm-hmm.
this past week, and it was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different than Hearthstone, where you have lanes that you actually play
Mm-hmm.
cards in. Now, some of the matches they don't have lanes; they just have one main lane. But it's pretty interesting. I like it, but it's no Hearthstone. I mean, I love my Hearthstone, and yeah.
Now, there's another one you may want to check out and play around with a little bit too. It's called Gwent, Gwent. If you
Now
haven't
that's
heard of
The
that one,
Witcher.
yes.
Yeah, that's The Witcher. Now I've
In
stayed
fact,
away from it. I
guess who's
know.
playing professionally in it?
Yeah, and that's why I stay away from it, because if this game took my favorite Hearthstone player away from Hearthstone, then I'm afraid of this game. I am scared to
Well,
play it.
there's an article out there, an interview with him this recently,
Yeah. Well, let's
talking
first of
about
all let's mention who it is. Let's make everybody's like, well, who are you talking
who's this?
about? For those of you that don't know, one of my favorite, or not one of my favorite Hearthstone player of all time
Who
is
you got to meet
Life
at this
Coach.
con?
Yeah, Life Coach. Life Coach is amazing. He is such a great guy, and wow,
You hug him at
oh,
those
I
con?
gave him a big hug, dude. I gave him a big hug. He was like skirting through the shadows trying to avoid everybody, and I mauled him. So, yeah,
You're like,
I
I need
gave
a picture with you. Picture with you, man. Like,
I gave him the big old Espo smile, and he was like, "Wow, this creepy old guy's after me." So,
well, the
but
story is that he had a conversation with magazine, one of the online magazines interviewed him discussing his move to Gwent and how one of the biggest reasons he moved to Gwent was because of his interaction with Blizzard and how he got invited out to Blizzard to go see some of the new cards with his expansion and talk about it. And he gave them input on these cards and reasons why he thought they should change them and gave them some really good constructive feedback. And then when the game came out, along with some comments that were said back to him, he felt like they just absolutely didn't take anything into account and they were taking the game in a direction he was not happy with.
yeah,
And so he was frustrated and he went to try some other things. He went and played Gwent and actually he's gotten really involved in their team. It's been able to influence them and help them continue to grow the game. And his input he feels is being received by the developers in general from all the people playing the game. not just him particularly. So that's his information. That's what he was saying about it, and it depends. I would think Blizzard is listening to the players. They are trying to tweak things in the right direction. There are some areas I feel they need to listen more. New player experience, for example, and just trying to make it a better game for new players is really the biggest thing for us. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just it's an interesting story to read about that, and I just saw that this last week or so, and I was like, yeah, interesting. I didn't realize that he had completely switched over and had given up completely. So
Yep.
yeah, and then the other big thing I've been playing with a little bit is Fortnite. It's another game that came out recently that's has launched a PUBG-like experience, and it's kind of something to play with too. So bouncing around different ideas, doing what I can when I have a chance.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the Legends one, their graphics are amazing on that one. The Elder
Yeah, they're
Scrolls
pretty cool.
game, it's just really cool effects and stuff. The way the cards hover over the boards and stuff, and the effects on the cards, I like what they did interactive. It's less cartoony like. It's more like a Skyrim type experience you'd expect. And I was in the beta with it early on and played it a little bit during that round. So yeah, it's a pretty cool card game. Pretty good. So
Yeah, I signed up for the beta and downloaded it and never played it. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time. I'm gonna go ahead and try it. So I did, and I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool.
well, if nothing else, I think one of the biggest benefits of playing some of these other games, it lets you appreciate what you have with Hearthstone, appreciate some of the things where we're at compared to where we've been, and how things have improved over the years. And it also gives you ideas of different ways to approach some of the same concepts and styles of a game. And some people may enjoy different styles. If it's something you enjoy to try out something else, then that's good. So just realized all my notes I had put in about this ended up down below. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the doc. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
it's like, what in the world? Okay. Weird.
Well, guys, it's come that time when you should probably start saving your gold.
What?
I think so.
Already?
I think so.
Are you serial?
Maybe
Yes,
not.
I agree. I agree with you.
But
I mean,
by
come on.
now
We are a month away, just over 5 weeks away from BlizzCon.
Yeah. So, I always try to save at least 5,000 gold. That way I get the pack of cards, which is what, $50, you get 50 packs or something like that. And a card back. So I always try to spend real money on that. Like Vestidius and I have said in the past, back in the day, we would spend, a couple bucks here and there on games. Every month or every other month, we'd buy a new game for, the console or the computer, and $30 here, $40 there. Sometimes if it was a really good game, like I remember when Skyrim came out, I bought it for the Xbox and spent $60. It was $59.99. So every once in a while, we spent.
And you probably spent 300 hours on it, right?
Oh yeah, I
Easy,
spent
right?
many hours in Skyrim. Really enjoyed it. We had the Xbox in the bedroom, so I would just lay in bed playing, Skyrim, getting my armor and my bow skills up so I could one shot a dragon in the head. But we've talked about how we, instead of spending money like that now, we just spend money on Hearthstone. But I also try to get 5,000 gold in time for the expansion so that I can buy 50 additional packs, because I felt like, well, when I opened up at least 100 packs at the beginning of an expansion, I was pretty comfortable. Yeah, I didn't have all the cards I wanted, but I really didn't know what I wanted either, if that makes sense. Because
totally.
It's a new expansion. So you
get enough dust to be able to craft some of those cards you really do want.
Yeah.
After you figure that out.
you theory craft a little bit and you're thinking, oh man, this card's going to be really cool. I want to make sure I get this, or, I got to make sure, I get my favorite classes legendary. So, you get about 100 packs, and like Vesidia said, you end up getting probably enough dust for one legendary. In those 100 packs, you usually get between 4 and 5 legendaries, which is, pretty
Let's
cool.
say 3 to 4.
Yeah, we kind of switched up with the luck last time, right? Like, I feel like I got way more legendaries than you did. But, so it's pretty cool. You save up 5,000 gold and you're going to get, a decent amount, and then you buy the bundle and you open up 100 some packs, and then you usually get almost, I would say, close to a dozen packs within the first 3 weeks of the expansion, for free from quests and whatnot. So, with that said, it's about time to start saving. That way you can get, between 500 and 700 gold a week, for the next 5 weeks, and you're getting pretty close.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But you're right. So, this is the time to start because 5 weeks away from BlizzCon. I think it's 5 weeks. And then they'll announce something at BlizzCon, and then they'll either say, and it's available today, or it's available starting in 2 to 3 weeks. So you'll get another 2 to 3 weeks to continue building. Or they'll say, we'll be announcing in a couple of weeks. But usually, you're 2 to 3 weeks out from BlizzCon.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it will be sometime before the end of the year, for sure. Because they said they're going to do three a year.
Oh yeah.
So,
and the cool thing is, so we can start, guessing what it's going to be about. So if you remember, when they talked about the Year of the Mammoth, they had these 3 designs at the bottom of the announcement. The first one was a map with kind of some leaves around it. The second one had like this crispy kind of wintry lineage around it, and that was the frozen, I guess frozen magic going on. And then the third one has a stamp, I think, like a little wax seal. So I'm wondering what that is going to be all about. I don't know if you have access to the internet, but if you can,
I do.
Look
I have
at that.
Yeah. Well, they all have wax seals.
Okay.
So let me see if I can show this on the screen. Yeah, I can. The last one has. Oh yeah, it's. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's underwater.
Ooh.
Or is that gold? It's hard to see.
Yeah.
It is. It looks like piles with gold or gems in like rock, or it's in like sand with like starfish.
I know what it is.
I'm wondering if
Pirates versus Murlocs.
I'm thinking, what was the underwater zone we had?
Bashir.
Yeah.
It could be Lady what's her name? The Queen of the Naga. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and there's a money bag in the foreground too. But it does look like a pile of treasure.
Interesting.
It's hard to see, and of course that's the intent. It's supposed to be hard to see. But
fish like shiny things, and Murlocs are like fish. I think it's going to be a Murloc expansion.
Gold. No, not Murlocs. No, we did gnomes. Yeah. Anyways, there's the image. Speculate. Think about it. It's got to be gold. It's got to be golden gems. I mean, it really does look like that. And then having a gold bag up front, that kind of reinforces that idea. So, very, very good. Very interesting.
I think it's going to be coming
soon.
Dwarves versus Murlocs. Dwarves are miners. They mine for gold.
Actually, it's going to be the trade skills of World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So you can do blacksmithing, leather crafting, jewel crafting,
Interesting.
and mining.
Each
Alchemy.
class inscription. Each class will have their own
No,
skill you can
you can put it
use.
with anyone you want.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
one of the things somebody said on Reddit was that wonder if the next expansion is going to introduce mounts.
That would be interesting. Well, the Spike Ridge Steed, that was a mount.
True, yeah. But what if they had
You
an
applied
extra
it to the
slot
minion?
that's kind of like the weapon, and you get a
Okay.
mount, and it's
Oh,
random mount of
wow.
things, gives you features, abilities.
You're
Radmobile
making it
says
crazy.
it's going to be spider monkeys versus Murlocs.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and then you could evolve into an orangutan or a gorilla.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
cool.
it's about
So,
that
yeah.
time, dude. We're getting close. We're close to guessing. Now that we are into the Knights of the Frozen Throne, now we can start guessing it. What's next? I
Okay,
think
well,
it has something to do with Murlocs.
send in your guesses. Send them in to info@Legend of the Innkeeper or tweet them at LOTI Podcast. Let us know what you think. We'd like to hear your thoughts.
Or leprechauns. Murlocs are leprechauns.
Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, unfortunately, there's no reviews or emails this week. A little bit
Yeah,
quiet.
and I looked on the Twitter and on the Facebook and nothing crazy. Although with my internet, it was actually ticking down like the screen, like I would
Oh,
get
my.
bits of information.
Like in the old days with the dial-up modem.
Oh, it was bad, dude. It's yeah. My heart hurts for my computer.
Well, okay then. Well, next week we'll dig a little further into things and see what's going on. Maybe we'll have a little more content to dig into.
Yeah.
So, we appreciate you guys being out there. Hopefully, you can throw in your ideas and let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you on that. And you're going to check out the show notes. We've got everything we talked about in the show notes. It'll be out there at legendoftheinkeeper.com. So until next week, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk to you then.
Good job, team.
Okay.
Dude, my internet didn't break.
No, it worked just fine. Actually, it was pretty solid the whole time.
That's crazy.
I mean, there was one time where you were a little starting to go, oh, but then it settled down. So,
Like a robot.
no, not even a robot. It was more your videos, and then you paused, and then it caught up, and we heard what you were saying.
Yeah.
Didn't lose anything. So
Good.
okay, I've got to run.
Yeah, dude. Good
touch
luck
base with
with
my
your
wife.
week. Good luck with work and everything. So, yeah.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us in the chat too, as well. We had
Yeah, thanks everyone.
people.
And check out my wife's blog and get updated on all that stuff. It's been a crazy week. So she's currently on bed rest. So
running.
good stuff. All right. Well, I'm out of here, dude. I'm gonna go check on her.
Okay. Well, take care
All right.
and hope she's doing well.